Hello everyone! Purchasing a property in Singapore is probably the highest ticket item you will spend in your entire lifetime. So good data analysis and well-executed plans are needed to ensure the sale and purchase of your property are smooth and profitable. I'm James.
I'm Kelvin, and we are from Impeccable Realtor.
Welcome to our first talk show for 2022. Together, we have about 30 years experience in the real estate arena, helping our clients in benefiting from the real estate market. Today, we're going to touch on a topic which many Singaporeans are keen and curious to find out. Should you sell your HDB flat when minimum occupation period is achieved, or should you wait and see if price will increase even further? So without further ado, let us begin our talk show and bring you through this journey on why you should sell at MOP. As you can see from the graphs shown and the newspaper articles shown in this video, HDB has actually increased 12.5% year on year. And our private property market has actually increased about 10.35% year on year. This is very good and this is excellent during pandemic. So what happened after this year-on-year increase? The government came on with cooling measures. So as you can see from the graph shown on the video, additional buyer stamp duty will increase 10% across the board for second properties and third properties for that matter. Loan to value, for HDB was reduced from 90% to 85% for HDB loan. And the total debt servicing ratio was reduced from 60 to 55%. So what do you think of these cooling measures, Kelvin?
James, I think that first-timer buyer is not affected because based on the statistics shows that the ABSD or LTV or don't know what TV or there, so actually it's not affected, and the EC in the market also not affected because they have to dispose their first property, so there's no ABSD or loan term value or LTV apply for that.
Okay, so generally these cooling measures were targeted more on probably second property or investment property clients. Okay, so I think Kelvin has given a very good point, that for first property owners, generally you are not affected by this cooling measure. So what happens? You can see that from the start of this show, I've given you statistics. HDB year on year increased 12.5%. But if you can see from the graph that I'm going to show you right now on this video, and I took a 8-year data analysis of different estates in Singapore. It clearly shows the incremental change from 2013 to 2021 wasn't that great after all. It even hit above 10%. As you can see from the graphs that we are shown on this video, we tried to dwell into the increase of 12.5%, but to our horror, when we started to draw information since 2013 until 2021, we found out that none of the estates in Singapore has actually achieved more than 10%. Do you think it's right, Kelvin?
I think something is not increased quite high, James, because as you can see the chart in the current market on 2013, I think it's third or fourth quarter, the price I think start to drop. And currently you see the chart is already increased to 12.5%, if I'm not right, from the chart of HDB analysis. So till now, you see the price 2013 and 2021, there's not much different. Only when we can see the point of view is majority of the units went up is the newer HDB flat.
So there was a driver.
Yes, correct.
Price driver.
So maybe I can share with you one of my friends, my very good friends. Actually, he did sold his 37 years, I think, HDB flat because he told me that 40 years lease of HDB, the price will be dropped. That will be later, but lesser lease, I think is a lesser value. Okay. I think should be that. So they told me this. So eventually he sold his HDB at maybe around 450 and purchased a Punggol, I think just an MOP flat for 5 years. He top up another 30,000.
Wow.
He don't loan.
Okay,
he don't loan. Okay. So it's like an old lease changed to a newer lease HDB.
Okay.
So from there, after that, he told me that currently now the price shoot to 520. Okay, it have increased the price for newer flat. Okay. But now his current flat, I think the price is still stagnant there, slightly up 10 to 15,000 for the whole transacted price. So I believe that for his cases like over lease HDB, suggest to me to change to a newer flat, I think it's quite possible.
So this whole analysis that Kelvin has mentioned earlier has just two words to describe this. It's called lease decay.
Yeah, top lease, is it?
Correct. All right. So when the lease gets older, the prices of flats generally gets lower.
Lower valuation.
Okay, because a lot of people, they like something newer for them. So the main cost driver behind this 12.5% increase last year for HDB resale were mainly due to the newer flats transacting at higher price.
Correct.
So, but I also want, Kelvin, to analyze for our subscribers out there. Okay, I also want to analyze why did the price drop from 2013 and then after that slowly picked up during the pandemic.
Oh, okay. This one I think I share with you my experience because me myself last time also have a MOP HDB flat. Okay, my understanding is 2013, I think it should be July or third quarter of 2013, government came in cooling measure. They say that both PRC, not more than 3 years, you cannot purchase HDB properties. And for PRC, like newly MOP flat, it's only they can purchase as a very new HDB properties because they can't even purchase a BTO or walk-in selection, direct purchase from the HDB. So to them, it's a very new flat. When I was selling my flat, I engaged an agent to help me to sell the flat.
So the time you were selling your flat?
Yeah, I was selling.
Also a brand, I remember it was a brand
MOP
new
is MOP
5-year-old flat. Yes.
Yeah, because I want to sell is due to change location. So there's a lot of MOP people like to change location, change school, or change here, change there when the kids
some even upgrade to condos.
Like my kids is growing up, then nobody take care. So I have to change to an area in Sembawang area, but unfortunately my MOP is not met. Okay, so once the cooling measure came in, is 2013 third quarter. Okay. So my MOP is 2014. Okay, so I can't sell my house. So when every month I will see the news, the price is dropping, that was my thinking that, the price is drop, every month drop, so it's very scary. When the price go up, and the price will come down eventually. So happened that lucky new MOP flat, I found a buyer, is a Singapore citizen couple. Okay, so they purchased my house. But of course, 2013 I can fetch a better price, but in 2014 I sold below valuation. That was my past experience.
Okay, from Kelvin's experience, probably when MOP is achieved and when the new cooling measures come in, probably price will drop because of these cooling measures. People will start to hold back their purchase. So that is where the market will adjust itself in terms of
James,
price.
I don't hold, I will just sell.
Okay. So he has the need is to sell.
I won't hold. Because to me is when I reaches my MOP, I will just sell the property and I will exit from HDB and purchase another property.
So I think another reason why the government came on board with the cooling measures of 2013 was one of the key reasons was that the property market was very hot then.
Very hot.
Just like what is happening now.
Yes.
Exactly like what's happening now.
Exactly now.
So one thing that I'd like to highlight to every one of you here in this video, one of the critical points beside this cooling measure is an announcement by the government as well. So in 2017, then the Minister of National Development announced that not all old flats will go for SIRS. SIRS as in en bloc, you all know what is a HDB en bloc, right? So when this thing happened, right, what we found out was prices of very old HDB flats actually plummeted by a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so for instance, 3-room flat in Tanglin Halt, which was calling for 300,000 per unit at that junction, and right after this was announced, a lot of buyers pulled back their purchase and asking prices dropped straight away by 50,000-60,000 around there. Okay, so this is the main reason why nowadays resale buyers are looking into newer flats.
Correct.
So that being said, right, is there really a difference between a newer flat and an older flat within the estate?
Yes, definitely a difference, James. Because just now I already mentioned that the older flat, the lease is dropping and the valuation no longer will be higher in future, especially when the market prices drop. So maybe I can share you something is, I also have another friends, they just disposed their HDB property when the lease is also close to 40 years. They exit the older flat, which they are selling at a peak price of 2013, which has happened last year. Okay, so I told them that they asked me for advice, so I tell them I think you should sell because currently now the price is peak. Especially your flat is 30 over and close to 40 years old, you should exit. If let's say the price went down, slowly will drop, then you will be more panic like me, how I feel that when I'm selling my MOP flat and the price still dropping every month, and so that is the thing quite scary.
Okay.
So my advice to him that you should exit when your house is close to 40 years old.
40. So the longer the lease, don't hold on to
Definitely,
for too long.
definitely, James. Because it's not all go, as you say, not all go for en bloc or go for sales. Definitely some HDB property will be getting lower and lower and lower and lower.
In general, in summary of what was discussed till now, we learned something that buyers have a tendency to, especially resale buyers,
Yeah.
they like something newer. So they will even pay a premium by quite a lot, which we will show you on this video how much difference is between an older flat when compared to a newer flat. Yeah. But before that, we would like to highlight a new trend last year that we found out was quite strange. As you can see from the graph that's shown on the video right now, we have seen that HDB price, although increased by 12.5% year on year last year, generally private properties has increased more in terms of pricing. All right, so for the past few years. And another thing that we should highlight to you also, that we have found out that the ownership of HDB has actually decreased by a bit. We can see, okay, that more Singaporeans are opting, okay, to buy resale condo when compared to resale HDB. So what does it mean for our HDB market out there if there are more people buying resale condo? Now we're going to do in-depth analysis on the pricing portion. So since average HDB prices have increased and it was marginal for the past few years, and resale transactions for resale HDB has decreased. What actually caused this increase in HDB resale flats for the past year-on-year 12%?
Past 12.5%, the increase should be majority on the better location areas and the newer MOP units like 5 to 10 to 15 years. As I say that a lot of older lease might be decreased. So the buyer like PR or mainly the upgraders change location, they will go for a newer flat. Even though if I'm the one who buying a HDB, I also will go for a newer flat because there's always a trend. Like you can see 2013, they went up quite high, and 2021, they start to went up again. Then cooling measures start to kick in 2021. So we have to see 2022 market. So let's say 2022 market slide to slip down a bit, but definitely if you buy a newly MOP flat, like for buyer, we sell, we exit, the buyer came in. Another 10 years, what if the HDB flat go up again? So this property will still, definitely the price will still remain there. Okay, but unfortunately, the lower flat, if you are at...
You mean the older flats?
Yes, they have to exit. They don't exit, then the price from 40 years will drop to 50 years really. Okay. It's very hard for them to rebound back. The price is 10 years ago. Okay. That's my point of view.
So now our challenge is newer lease, higher price.
Yes.
Okay. Right, so that's what Kelvin say, huh?
Yes,
that's what
newer lease definitely will fetch a higher price.
Okay. Then no stock is cheap. Okay. Let us show you what is transacted and what was transacted last year. Okay. Then you will know that this term, newer lease equal higher price, holds true even till today. So in summary, this whole thing by coining this term, newer lease, is it equal to higher price?
Yes, James. Newer lease definitely will fetch a higher price.
So that's what Kelvin say, and I feel personally too. Okay, without further ado, let us show you what was transacted for the past 2021. Okay, as you can see on screen now, we've got 4 different resale HDB.
Okay.
Okay, at Punggol. All right. So at this location called 162A Punggol Central, a 15th floor unit. MOP when, Kelvin?
Let me think. Should be 2009.
2009. Okay. It went for 535,000 somewhere in July last year. And a similar kind of 5-room flat. Okay. And this is located in 667A Punggol Drive. On the 12th floor, slightly lower floor than the 15th floor unit. It went up to, it was sold at a whopping price of 675,000.
Wow, that's a lot. How much is it?
Okay, that's
if
about
130,000
130,000 difference,
That's a lot.
And why is 667A able to sell at a higher price? Okay, because from what we can see here, it's just MOP in 2021.
21, yeah, 2021, yes.
All right. So this is one example. So that's a 5-room flat. Okay. So how about a 4-room flat? So we took another shot at the same location, comparing the same place as well. So now we took 162A again. This time around a 4-room flat on the 13th floor. Okay. It was sold for 458,000.
Okay. Also a lease of 2009.
Yes, MOP
Okay.
in 2009. All right. And we also found out at the same location of 667A Punggol Drive, a 14th floor unit was sold at 575,000.
Wow, that's another 100,000 difference.
Correct.
Okay.
So you can tell within the same estate, okay, and not too far apart, they are probably about 200, 300 meters apart from each
Yeah,
other.
within 1 kilometer.
Within a kilometer, yeah, you're right. Okay, we can tell clearly that people were willing to offer much higher prices for the newer flats.
Correct.
In the range of 100 to 130,000, Kelvin. Okay, that's amazing. So can you imagine if you are the one who buy the 162A Punggol Central? So, you know, your exit plan may be affected next time. Okay, because the flat will get older.
Maybe will take a bit of longer time.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably we think will take a bit of longer time.
Okay.
But for newer flat, definitely no issue.
Okay. So Kelvin, let's go straight now into Yishun and Woodlands, somewhere in the north and northeast.
Oh, okay.
Okay? All right, so at Yishun itself, we found out that a flat that was MOP in 1994. A 10th floor, 4-room flat was sold for 475,000 last year.
Wow.
And a newly mint MOP unit in 501A Yishun, a 4-room flat with just MOP last year, is sold for 515,000.
Differ about 40,000?
40,000.
Okay.
And these two blocks are located right next to each other.
Correct.
Okay, so clearly, again, there are people who are willing to pay premium price for a newer unit. All right, so that's
I
Yishun.
think the older flat sizes is bigger.
Slightly bigger, yes.
Newer, smaller.
Yes.
But smaller enter into a higher price
Yes,
due to the lease.
correct. Okay, so not only people looking for a newer lease, they're also looking for better renovation. Okay, so probably resale buyers out there are looking for
So,
minimum renovation needed.
James, it means that size doesn't matter, right?
Yes.
If, let's say you are smaller size, and that's a bigger size,
Yes,
and you sell, your price is lower than
exactly.
the smaller size.
Correct. So people are still willing to pay
Pay
premium price.
higher for a newer lease for a higher price, okay, and a smaller size.
Correct. And this is another statistic that will shock you. This happened in Woodlands last year.
Okay.
Okay, 716 Woodlands Drive 70, a 5-room flat. Now this block are MOP in 2002.
Wow, so
Okay.
long. 20 years house.
20 years already.
Okay.
20 years already. February last year, it sold for 500,000, $500,000. Okay, and you know what happened? A new MOP unit right next to 716 called 717A Woodlands Drive 70. Okay, which MOP last year in 2021 was sold for whopping 685,000.
Wow, so high.
So what's the difference, Kelvin?
Will be going higher this year? What
Correct.
do you think?
No, I'm talking about the price.
The price, of course, 185,000 different, brother.
185,000. These two blocks, they are located right next to each other. And 5-room flat that I will just take example from, just achieved the MOP last year. And it's slightly smaller than the older flat at 716. So again, proving size don't really matter. The lease matters.
Yeah, lease is the matter, James.
Correct.
Size doesn't matter.
So we have covered Punggol, we have Yishun, we have Woodlands. How about we going to Sengkang? So you can see from the graph that we are shown, okay, the statistics that we are showing in this video right now, there are two clusters here. They are called the Sengkang East Way and the Anchorvale Link. Okay, as you can see from the graph, one of them, actually one of the cluster, MOP in 2020, and another one MOP in 2007. So about a 13-year difference, like Kelvin.
Yep.
You can see from the graph itself, again, the transacted prices for those who MOP in 2020 were way higher than those transacted in 2007. Going to show, okay, that our resale buyers out there do prefer something newer. So if you're holding on to your MOP units, probably, if of course within your financial means, you should consider letting go of the price of the unit now, okay, so that you hit it at a time where the sweet spot of sale should
Yeah,
be.
don't be like my experience. Not MOP
he
yet.
dragged another year. And
So
he
that
got
was
a much
very scary. Very scary.
So you know, Kelvin, this phenomenon don't only happen for HDB, you know. Okay, it also happen for executive condominium that achieve their minimum occupation period.
Yeah, same.
So you can see from the the video on this video right now, the data that we are showing you, we can see that La Casa, which is an EC.
Casa at Woodland, right?
Yes,
Okay.
at Woodlands itself. So we'll do apple-to-apple comparison.
Okay.
Okay, so we are going to compare two ECs at Woodlands. La Casa MOP in 2013. Now, Twin Fountains MOP last year.
Okay.
We found out that a 3-bedroom condominium at La Casa was sold last year for 896,000.
Oh,
Okay, good huh?
okay.
But someone has purchased Twin Fountains, a similar size 3-bedroom condo at 1.15, also last year.
Oh, the price difference so much.
Correct. Right?
But both are full condo facilities, right?
Both are full condo facilities. No difference between an EC and a private condominium.
Yeah, correct.
And yet people were choosing a much newer EC to
With
buy
a higher premium price.
with a higher premium price.
Is it close to 300,000?
I think probably close to
250?
250,000.
Okay.
So people are willing to fork out 250,000 to buy a newer 3-bedroom condominium. In summary, resale buyers out there are willing to offer premium price for something newer, despite the newer flat or newer condominium being smaller in size.
Yeah.
Okay?
Correct.
So that goes to show newer lease does equate to higher price. Now, come another question, Kelvin, that in which our viewers would like to know, I feel personally. Okay, what happens if you hold on to your property for another few more years?
So my point of view, if you hold too long, definitely government will do something okay, to cool the cooling measure, so the price may be stagnant and will not drop too low. Because my experience is, if you compare Singapore properties and the environment to other countries, actually our Singapore properties is quite healthy. So if you say that it will drop too low, I don't think so for my past experience.
Okay, so now Kelvin, we are going to move on to another question that many viewers would like to know as well. What happens if you hold on to your property, your HDB flat for that matter, for another few more years?
Okay, James, my point of view is, okay, this goes to, actually I also have sometimes peep in property portals that how much my last time HDB
Your old flat?
so yeah,
Okay.
then till now. Actually the price is no different.
Oh, stagnant.
Or maybe slightly a bit lower.
Why do you think so? Is it because there are newer flats going up?
Yes,
Okay.
especially you see that there's a lot of BTO in
Sengkang,
D19
Punggol.
Sengkang Punggol area. So more supply, more challenging, and some is even more near MRT.
Okay.
And the price is almost the same.
Okay.
And the lease is just MOP.
Okay.
So that's my point of view. So I always peep in portal that how much my house last time sold. Till now it's still the same, but my lease is getting
Shorter.
from 5 years MOP to maybe now 13 years really.
13 years.
But the price is still there.
So it's getting shorter.
Yeah,
but
so
stagnant in
it
price.
means that either I sell on MOP and I hold another 10 years and the price is still the same.
Okay.
So my point of view is don't wait for so many competitors out that you want to sell, but the price is MOP price.
Okay. So if you look at our graphs that we are showing you now, in 2021 and 2022, there will be an avalanche, okay, of MOP units coming on board, and even stretching all the way to 2025. This will throw more supply of MOP units
Exactly,
into
James.
the
It's
market.
more supply, then buyer got more choice, then definitely your price will not be so fantastic. That's my
Okay.
point of view.
Okay, so going forward, okay, there will be more MOP units to challenge your unit, okay, in the event you have already achieved your MOP. So let's take this chance, okay, to analyze this even further. Okay, so by this graph, okay, we summarize in terms of numbers for you that we took a few estates from Choa Chu Kang all the way to Sembawang.
Okay.
In 2021, last year, okay, from the few estates out there highlighted in yellow, there were about 4,946 units that achieved MOP. And in this year alone, and within the same estates as shown in this video right now, it's increased to 11,125.
Wow, that's a
Kelvin.
lot.
That's almost three times. Almost three times.
Or 4,000 plus. Yeah, that's a lot.
Correct. So this throws competition. So it's basic economics. When supply outstrips demand, okay, price will definitely be affected. so we hope you find this video helpful in your analysis. If you'd like to find out more on what you should do with your property, please do not hesitate to contact us at this number or subscribe to our YouTube channel. I am James.
I'm Calvin.
And we are from
Impeccable Realtor.
We'd like to take this opportunity to wish every one of our viewers a
Happy Chinese New Year.
And if you like what you hear, stay tuned for our next series as we delve into in-depth analysis on more topics that will interest you in your property market. Thank you.
Thank you.